their accounts of it all. We could get that out the files.
Victim statements.
Victim statements, thank you. We can get those out the files. So assuming that we need another 6 months, 8 months, 2 years to get this information when the documentation in the file already been compiled. Thank you, Pam Bondi, for opening up your big mouth and telling the world that you had all the files sitting directly on your desk, so we at least know that they're real. Thanks, Trump, for saying, hey, we're going to release these documents the moment I get back in office, because we're going to get those criminals out of here, those Democratic criminals out of here that was going to Epstein's files. Thank you guys for pushing the narrative enough for now us to have thought-provoking conversation about why are y'all hiding it. See, it was easy when you wasn't trying to hide it and you said you were going to do it and then you were going to release some and not all, and then you did release what people thought would have been enough, but everybody knew that wasn't enough. But you played the game so long that the road ended, but the game's still playing. Now your toes is at the end of the ledge or the end of the cliff. You have to jump now. And it's crazy to witness it. And we'll go to the glass, so I don't want to hold you up too long, because I think right there just basically told us. I just want to ask you a question honestly. I didn't want to go into all the details and everything, but the Ghislaine Maxwell thing is very, very interesting to me. It's because that woman had the rights and the ability to speak for herself, to free herself from a lifetime of prison. You know what she didn't do? She didn't utilize all the name information that she had to free herself.
Well, as Ghislaine Maxwell's attorney keeps saying, whenever anybody will listen, my client is not.
She did not give all the information to a person that could have saved herself. Why wouldn't she save herself with all that information? Instead, now, hello?
Yeah, I answered you prematurely because your audio dropped out. I said, as her attorney repeatedly says to anyone who will listen, my client is not suicidal. That's a message she's sending, that if she suddenly ends up swinging from the rafters of her cell, she is not suicidal.
Well, Gary, and that's funny, because my is she's not going to be suicidal. You know,
that's your point. That was your point.
Well, yesterday, she showed baback up to prison with a box of goodies.
Right.
And who gets the box of goodies? Normally the person who works with the people.
Well, the important thing is the reason she kept her mouth shut, it could be extrapolated from what her attorney said. The reason she kept her mouth shut, as you pointed out, by not revealing the names, is because she is not suicidal. What he's intimating is, had she released that stuff, she may have suddenly committed suicide. That's what he's intimating.
Well, again, I'm with you on, hey, if they had 16 years of documentation on this situation, we shouldn't have to wait another 6 months to figure out if this information is
right. And you're absolutely right that only in the most complex of cases, which this may very well be, does it go even 5 years. So
I've watched
accurate.
many in my city to take down 40 plus people in less than 8 years.
Oh, they do it in months usually.
And that's my gist of that part of the conversation. But that also is why personally I don't believe he'll be able to shake this. It's because people like you who are continuously asking the thought-provoking question that takes that top layer off. Somebody also said that, those people were high-profile people in those places, and maybe they wanted something over them. Yeah, I'm sure if they had that documentation, it would be hard for any intelligence to want to give that information up, because intelligence is the power. I think we see that currently with the Republican Party and how Donald Trump can tell everybody that I can do what I want to do. I'll primary you if you don't follow my rules, and everybody has to do what I have to say, because intelligence, further intelligence on doing that to people is being able to know that you can sue or take them to court or primary them. That's the intelligence. The same intelligence goes with the documentations of these key files of people that actually was involved in that at the highest levels of our either government or financial circles in the country. Hey, that information should come out, but we all know that if it did come out, it could shape this country to a position of failure. And I think it should, because I'm one of those people that says children deserve to be safe at any cost in this country, in any country in this world. Children should be the first instance of hurt people who deserve to be safe. I think, or the Bible actually spoke about protecting children and women. And I think this would be both of them. So if we have the Christian-based religion people in here, I don't want to, no disrespect to anybody's religion, but if you have a sense or inkling that you have any Christianity beliefs, you would understand that this would be the perfect time to stand up on those and make those people have to stand up on them too, who told you that they were running or being politically driven by those factors of doing things right by the Christian faith. This would be it, making sure the children and the women are completely safe by exposing the criminals and the pedophiles that would have did this to these people and got to go under the radar because they got air quotes the big fish, when he honestly might have been just the smallest fish in the pond and the easiest to catch up on. Hey guys, thank you, Gary. You do a great job every time, man. Keep going with the room, and please don't let this die down because this is the beginning of opening up our world into a new world. And hopefully we don't have AI take over where we can't do this type of stuff because they dictated that we can't anymore before we get real truth. Real truth needs to come before AI takes us over. And I land there.
I actually did an experiment involving AI yesterday, and what I asked it to do, it did so fast and so well. And I understand that it is a job that there are thousands of people who are gainfully employed doing that work. And it just took the task I gave it and it spit it out in like 3 seconds, literally.
Well, Gary, the information I'm speaking of is if AI gets the ability to, let's say, do mass surveillance or some type of hard police work style.
I'm sure that's going on already.
What I'm saying is if that becomes the case, then we get open to it and allow it without any of this information. Once you start seeking about this information in spaces like this, Gary, I would have to be concerned for your health, your safety, because we didn't get the information prior to the big wig, the people at the top who could have been influenced or doing these things to these people, now have the power to control us in that manner. Hey, we won't have this conversation tomorrow. Why? Because Gary had 3 guys in black suits show to his house, and we don't see Gary anymore. And that's the biggest area that I had, is we need this type of information before the big takeover of information, AI information, because who's to say how they utilize it and try to control us back down to where we don't actually have these type of conversations or speak of these type of things because we don't have control of it anymore. And I'll lay in there, like I said. Thanks.
The technology is there already, Chris. They're using it in the Chinese Communist Party is using it, and everybody's required to have a smartphone, and the smartphone tells them where they have been, who they've had contact with, and if you have contact with the wrong people, then you can have your ability to get on public transportation taken away from you, the amount of food that you can get at the store reduced. And so if somebody is saying something that is unpopular to the government there, and he or she is my friend or my coworker or my relative, and I visit them or I communicate with them, there will be an alert through their algorithm that says that I've had contact with that person, and I will be receiving punitive measures. It's all designed to prevent that person from spreading their opinions that the government there does not want discussed. So what Chris is talking about is not a hypothetical, only in terms of whether it ever is implemented in the United States, but the technology is already there. David, I'm not going to be able to get to you because you came on the stage too late, but Odianware, you get the last.
Thank you very much, Gary. It's been a long time. I come sometimes, but I've been so busy. Worked up now because I have to work harder now. All the things I told you before the elections that Trump is going to destroy the judiciary and Trump is going to make a mess. Are you hearing me, Gary?
Yes.
Trump is going to mess of America. And I think that it's going to demystify the greatness of America. All things are coming to come. Building is. Trump is going to destroy America, so I'm just here on the sidelines waiting, taking all my predictions I said before the election. But let me go to the Epstein case. Trump is such a fool that he made noise about Epstein. Should I just keep quiet? Nobody really cares about Epstein. I don't care about. I don't care. I mean, I wish him the worst. But why were you making noise about it? Why did you make it a campaign issue? Now you can't fulfill. Trump is listed there. In fact, today I just saw a news from an ABC reporter where the DOJ is going to give Ghislaine some form of limited immunity. Why? Of all people. But like I said, there's nothing Trump is doing now that is surprising me. You know me. I was predicting from the onset. I was shouting. I was screaming. Don't let this lunatic get that power. But people thought I was crazy. I even caused some fights in Jerome with certain people. They told me to go back to my country. I'm not American. It's okay. So I'll just be there watching. He can't escape Epstein. He can't escape Epstein. There are just too many pictures, too many stories. Today he said, that the letter that he saw was maybe somebody wrote the letter and wrote his name. He can't just shake off Epstein. And again, it is his fault because he made it a campaign issue. The Republicans thought that they could sack the Democrats. They could call the Democrats pedos, all those things. No. Everybody's defending Trump. What a shame. Anyway, Gary, thank you for your time. Like I told you, all the things that are predicted to happen in America is happening. I mean, yesterday, I heard Marshall arguing with someone about a banana republic. I have lived in a banana republic. America is becoming a banana republic. When your attorney general is flaunting rules, your president is flaunting rules. That's how banana republics are made, if you don't know. Thank you very much. Are you?
Yeah, I specifically meant that we're not a banana republic with a junta, right? We still have local elections, we still have statewide elections, we still have national elections. We have many, many, many problems, but we are not a banana republic. And saying that we are takes us to a place where I don't think we get serious things done, Odie. I think it makes it that much harder to get people to the middle to have the knowledge necessary for government.
I'm saying America is heading towards there. Look at the actions of Bambondi. Look at the people Trump appointed, Cash Patel, Dan Bongino.
If you would like my opinion, yes, the United States could be headed there, but it's not because of Donald Trump. It's because of Donald Trump and all of the other presidents that we've ever had who've grown the executive branch into a kingship. Donald Trump is not the first president to have king-like powers. Joe Biden had them, Obama had them, George W. Bush had them, Clinton had them, George H.W. Bush had them,
Joe Biden was
Reagan
not
had
enough
them. No, that's not my point. My point is that people are mad at the power of the executive, which they are, and they want it to be less powerful. Then they need to address the power of the executive, not simply the office, not simply the person in the office, right? So that would have meant when Joe Biden had power, the Democratic Party should have said, the executive is too powerful. We need to go back to Congress and have Congress limit the executive's power. But here's the problem. Whenever either party is in power, they're like, no, it's my guys, so taking the power is tight. Throwing the power of the executive is cool, but when it's the next dude, it's dictatorial, it's Hitler-esque, it's Gestapo, and it winds up in this place where both parties point their fingers at the other, and all that happens is that the executive office gets more and more and more powerful, so that ideas like the unitary executive theory actually have purpose because of the way we think of the executive, and because of the amount of power we have given the executive. The unitary executive theory would not be such a powerful argument had we not had, say, the Patriot Act. The presidency would not be nearly as powerful, and it would be more repellent to the American public. My point is, it is not repellent to the American public because we have grown used to the imperial presidency. And it is that imperial presidency which we should seek to reduce, regardless of what party we are actually in.
I think you and Odin were basically agree, believe it or not. Folks, we're here Monday through Friday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. New York time, so until 5 p.m. New York time on Monday. For the next edition of the Critical Thinking Forum, everybody be safe, be well, have a great weekend, and peace out.
They weren't reporters. There were actual Palestinians that were on Zoom. But when it comes to like Al Jazeera, there's a lot of the bloggers. I'm sure others do too, but not the mainstream media because they didn't have a relationship with them. These bloggers, these YouTubers that were in Gaza, that were already writing about the atrocities in Gaza before October 7th. So Al Jazeera just switched over and said, can we work together? But Western media sources, it never occurred to them to go and work with brown people.
This is what I do, right? I look at the Times of Israel, I look at Haaretz, I look at the CNN, and I look at a whole bunch of these mainstream, right? And a lot of times there's truth somewhere in the middle. You see what I'm saying? So Times of Israel will report it was Hamas that was the suspect of Hamas that was there or something that got killed. If you go to Al Jazeera, it'll be like a pro-Pali source. Oh, they just killed like 20 people. Same news. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
20 people.
it just depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for something, if Israel says something that's critical of Israel, the Times of Israel says something that's critical of Israel, that's more credible than Al Jazeera saying something that's critical of Israel.
Yeah.
But if Al Jazeera says something critical of Palestinians, that would be more credible than if Israel said something critical of Palestinians. So, you base you pick the sources that are most credible for the answers you're looking for.
I like Haaretz, man. I like Haaretz. Their stories, oh my God, on point, man.
Yeah,
Even Wall Street can't even compare to Haaretz. Haaretz stories, oh my God, on point. And the shit that they write against Israel and support of Palestine, I like it, man. I think, and the guy at the publisher at the London conference, he said Hamas is resistant fighters. They should put sanction on Israel. And that was it. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to, dive into this newspaper. I'm gonna become a member of it.
I think they're sanctioned in Israel.
Yeah, they put sanctions on the Haaretz, and so there's no government contracts anymore, but they still have millions of subscribers. And there was one or two towns inside Israel where the mayor of, I don't know, I forgot the name of the town, they blocked the sale of Haaretz because, Haaretz is like a leftist.
Yeah.
And some of these Israelis, they think that, there's an anti-Israel newspaper, anti-this, anti-this. And I think some of the narrative comes off as like anti-Zionist narrative. You see what I'm saying? And it's one of the oldest newspapers since 1920s.
Yeah.
So, I think it's interesting, man.
Yeah, they have a huge subscriber base too.
Hey, Shape, everybody, if you guys want to come on up. I don't know what you guys doing. I'm not sending you guys invite because I turned off the hand raising. Unmute, come on up. You don't need invitation, guys.
Shape, come on up, Shape. I know you're...
Alaikum assalam. Hey, what's up? Welcome, Ezra. Welcome, Shape.
Alaikum assalam. Shape is, it's Friday, so I'm sure the shisha pipe is coming out.
Yeah, of course. He's in his backyard in the pool.
Walaikum salam.
So, Shape, you've been hanging out with the Zionists recently? Today, yesterday? No? Are they toning down a little bit in some of the rooms?
Oh, you want to hear the most stupidest thing that Amos said? He said that Israel is going through a starvation too.
Well, I mean, they are pretty chunky people.
What did he say?
He said that Israel is going through, that both sides are going through starvation.
They are pretty chunky people.
Where the fuck did he get that from?
Well,
I don't know.
I'll tell you where.
Palestine.
No,
Palestine was there.
there's a very logical explanation, and it's true. It's true. So
Diet.
okay, no. I remember that everybody's going crazy
Someone
with
said
that.
they're starving for their humanity, yeah.
No, This is why, you know, Amos has a point. So after October 7th, they stopped letting Palestinians that worked, you know, hundreds of thousands of them in Israel, and a lot of them were chefs. A lot of them were chefs in restaurants. So, you know, now you have Israelis or Indians.
Yeah, now they've got Indians. Slave labor.
Now they're cooking, and you know, so their diet has been diminished, and I feel bad for them. I really do. I mean, they're mixing curry with hummus. It's getting really bad.
I don't know how these brains work. They just build a complete different dimension and live in it.
That's what I'm saying. A society like that will not last.
I'm gonna ask him why he said that stupid shit.
No, but this is honestly, it really, you know when you used to learn about how Nazi society operated? This is what it's taking me back. When people like this, Amos and his ilk, talk and give their narrative, it reminds me of what we were taught about the Nazis and how they used to act, how they used to talk about themselves. It's just insane.
Well, the Nazis, though, I mean, they were bad. I mean, obviously, you know. But the thing about them is, we knew what they wanted. They knew what they wanted. They said we are the superior race. You know, our objective is to build and maintain a superior race, and to get rid of those that are inferior. And you know, to rule as much of the world as possible. Like, they had clear objectives. But
And the Zionists don't?
No, the Zionists all the Zionist objectives. They hide them behind, you know,
I don't
their
think
own.
they hide them.
No, well, they hide from themselves. They hide them from themselves. They say how this is right. This is, oh no, this, you know, they have this moral compass which they call Judaism, you know, and they base it on Judaism, but Judaism has nothing to do with what they're doing.
For their own political gains.
So they lie to themselves first, so by the time they get to everybody else, by the time it gets to us, it's no longer a lie, it's something that's even past a lie.
Yeah, but they've convinced themselves, they've told the lie that many times to themselves.
Yes.
That it's become their truth.
Exactly.
It's insane.
So we got the UN chief says Gaza hunger a moral
Damn Zionists kicked me off.
crisis. Yeah. The UN chief says Gaza hunger a moral crisis. Aid is set to be scaled up in case of truce.
There was another thing, I'm not sure if you picked up on it. I believe, I'll have to find the article again. I believe there was an internal investigation. Was it by US aid? That they've concluded that there was no systematic looting of aid by Hamas. Well, there was no looting of it. Let me just double check and find the article.
Yeah, see what the source is, please.
Bear with me.
Hey, what's up, Samoon? Assalamu alaikum, brother. Welcome.
You know, funny enough, so I've just put the same thing in Google. First source is the Times of Israel.
The Times of Israel says too.
So there's an article. It says that it's titled "USAID finds no proof Hamas systematically loots aid. State Department IDF pushback."
That's such bullshit. The
Times of
looting,
Israel.
that looting thing during starvation.
Wait, you said looting or not looting? You said not looting first.
You said there's nothing.
Yeah, so it's, obviously it's in the title. It says no proof Hamas is systematically looting aid or looting aid.
Okay.
So there's no.
No, that's the new thing that they're trying to push is this whole Hamas stealing food, which clearly there is no video.
No, but their own agencies.
It's not a new thing, it's an old thing, TJ.
Yeah, it's an old thing, but they're obviously their own agencies, USA.
No. Like it's like being like now it's like being pushed even like into mainstream right now.
Oh yeah, so I heard a government spokesperson from Israel. He came on Sky News, I believe.
Yeah,
And he
I
said
read that.
that the he goes that Israel is allowing aid. The starvation is coming from Hamas starving
That's
people.
what
That's what he
is
said.
bullshit. World Food Program can't debunk that.
Yeah, but their own agencies are debunking them. No one else needs to debunk them. USAID has debunked it.
USA
Yeah, but you know what's interesting? You know what's interesting is they always seem to find. So whenever there's something, for example, last time there was a shooting and they said, "Oh, Hamas shoots his own people."
Yeah.
Why is there no video evidence? Because they have drones in the sky, they have reporters, they've got soldiers.
No, General, it's worse. General, it's worse. That, when they did that, they showed the IDF on their YouTube page.
Yeah, no, we spoke about it because it was a completely different
A completely different video.
incident. Yeah.
And in that video, all you could see was a couple of militiamen who looked like militiamen
Yeah.
shooting at the ground.
Like dispersing the crowd kind of
Exactly.
thing.
Yeah. This was their official IDF. Man, they're getting bad at lying.
So was
They're
it
just really good at it.
systemic or systematic?
Systematic.
Okay, so then they're saying that there isn't a plan by Hamas in place to steal the aid.
Yeah, to loot it. But
Yeah.
what I was saying is, they have drones in the sky, they've got soldiers on the ground, intelligence agents on the ground. They seem to video everything.
Now
Why is
they're
it-
doing, I see now new videos, they are now doing controlled demolitions of the houses that they destroyed.
Yeah, but they've been doing that for ages.
And no
Control
videos,
demolition, they've just been destroying anything.
no videos of human shields either. I mean, they keep saying human shields.
The
Yeah,
only real evidence we have is them
Well,
doing it.
there are videos
Yeah, exactly.
of Israelis doing human shields. That's that. There's videos of them raping people. There's that. But the counter, in terms of proof, nothing.
See, there's a phrase that really rings to mind, and it's quite poignant and quite accurate. Every accusation is a confession.
Yeah, where did that come from? Yeah, I've heard this.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That was me. That was me, guys.
That's a good one.
That was Edward.
It is
Every accusation is a confession.
confession.
That sounds like something I would say, guys.
So Mahmoud Aouda on the guy I watch on YouTube every day, every evening, when he gives us a report on Israel and the politics and what's happening in Gaza, he's said this multiple times. Every accusation is a confession by these people, meaning the IDF or Israel.
With some of the pictures coming out, honestly, there was a BBC article I was reading, and I'm thinking to myself, it was about a disabled boy, and he died. He literally reminded me of pictures again.
Yeah, I saw that. They didn't even blur his face or anything.
No, they didn't.
And
The
it's
pictures
very
I saw,
disgusting.